Hello, dear listener. I hope you had a good weekend. Me, on the other hand, I've been a little unwell, so today, instead of regular programming, I will be reading out a super interesting edition of the Ken's FinTech newsletter, Kaching for you.
Hi, I'm Rahil, the co host of this podcast. And before we jump back in, I just wanted to share some exciting news with you. Daybreak is growing, and we are looking to grow our team too. Now, if you're a journalist who listens to Daybreak and thinks, I wish they'd cover this, or I know exactly what would make Daybreak even better, we would love to hear from you. We're looking for somebody who's curious, who's driven and passionate about business and tech news. If that sounds like you or somebody you know, please check out the details in the show notes. Applications are open now. And with that, let's get back to the episode.
Last week, Rohan, a 35-year-old software engineer who did not want to publicly reveal his last name, noticed a debit notification from his bank. 199 rupees had been deducted from his account by a learning app, Seekho, which he had downloaded 3 months ago and started a rupee 1 free trial on. Except he had also cancelled it within a few weeks. So why was he being charged now? Frustrated, he checked his bank statement only to discover that this wasn't the first such deduction. Similar amounts had been charged to his account for a couple of months, and he had overlooked the SMS notifications sent by his bank for all of them. Rohan's experience is not unique. Across India, numerous others are discovering or will discover that they are still being charged for subscriptions that they thought they had cancelled. All activated through the new darling of subscription business, UPI Autopay. If you go through the reviews section of so many popular apps on Google Play Store, you will find scores of complaints that mirror Rohan's. Let me read you a few, for example. Sachin Kumar says, Seekho app is a scam. When you buy the subscription, it will not be a 1 month subscription. There is a hidden autopay option hidden in it, which will get auto paid from your bank account every month. Avoid subscribing to such apps. Thank you. There's another one by Nick H that says there is no clarity on subscriptions. 1 rupee plan unsubscribed long time back has caused me losses of 398 rupees through autopay mode. However, I was not using the app and unsubscribed it long back. And this is about an app called Stage Films web series shows. Now, much of this, if you ask civil rights and researchers in the space, is due to dark patterns that remain rampant in India's internet economy, specifically something called a subscription trap. This is how the Central Consumer Protection Authority, or CCPA, established in 2020 by the Indian government to regulate matters related to consumer right violations and unfair trade practices, defines a subscription trap, making cancellation of a paid subscription impossible or a complex and lengthy process, or hiding the cancellation option for a subscription, or forcing a user to provide payment details or authorization for auto debits for availing a free subscription, or making the instructions related to cancellation of subscription ambiguous, latent, confusing, and cumbersome. UPI Autopay options seem particularly prone to such dark patterns. After 2021, when the Reserve Bank of India introduced new rules making recurring card payments more difficult, UPI Autopay has offered the simplest process for activating recurring payments for subscriptions. Just a phone number and an OTP, and you're set up. In fact, many services like Amazon Prime and Google One are eliminating one time payment options entirely and offering only automatic renewals. On many apps, UPI Autopay is the only payment option that shows up. But this ease isn't very apparent when customers initiate cancellations. Among the apps attracting complaints from users for such practices are pretty popular ones like Cuckoo FM, Good Score, Stage, and Seekho, all of which boast users in millions. According to the founder of Seekho, Rohit Chaudhary, 100% of their subscribers use UPI Autopay, which the app has adopted as its only payment mode for subscriptions. And 95% of Kuku FM users have set up UPI Autopay, says co founder Lalchand Bisu, who adds that it is the primary payment option because of a, and I quote, conscious decision based on how digital payments and recurring billing have evolved in India. The process to start a trial with UPI Autopay is very simple. Download the app, enter your phone number, verify by OTP, and start a trial by paying 1 or 2 rupees. Even at this stage, some say that they did not realize that they are setting up recurring payments. But even if we believe that such aggrieved users should have paid proper attention, things aren't so easy to shrug off when it comes to cancellations. In many cases, users trying to cancel autopay find the process way more complicated than when they signed up, or worse, entirely ineffective, as my colleagues and I found out recently. Take the Cuckoo FM app, which has a nice big button with red font saying cancel subscription. When we click that button, we were redirected to a page that makes it apparent that the subscription has been cancelled. But when we checked on the UPI app, we found that the autopay subscription was still active. Asking the customer care chatbot only resulted in another 5 step process, which, after it failed, resulted in a direction to call customer care on the phone. This was also true for the 3 other apps that I mentioned earlier. According to a software engineer working in the sector who did not want to be named, this happens because when a user cancels a subscription through an app, the app is supposed to notify payment gateways like Razorpay to stop the automatic deductions. Some platforms, they said, simply do not follow through on this crucial step or make the process to get there difficult for users. When asked why some users have charges deducted even after cancelling their subscription, Cuckoo FM's Lal Chand Bisu said that they were, and I quote, aware of this problem and actively listen to our customers when they share this feedback with us. This forms a very small pool of our overall customer base. End quote. Seekho's Chaudhary, for his part, said, and I quote again, users who cancel their subscription through the app or support are never charged again as we do not trigger any further payment requests. However, in rare instances, users may have reinitiated a subscription unknowingly. Our support team actively monitors such situations and resolves them promptly, including issuing refunds when necessary. Chaudhary also said that they are fundamentally against dark patterns and that users can cancel effortlessly. Good Score and Stage, however, did not respond to the Ken's queries. In 2023, the Department of Consumer Affairs released guidelines aimed at regulating dark patterns. But Pranav Bidare, a researcher at the Center for Internet and Society, says that the regulation is still catching up. He said, and I quote, the intent by the regulator to avoid dark patterns and protect people from harm is there. But in terms of practice, there is still a lot of legal development that needs to happen. End quote. Until then, though, the most effective solution for users is vigilance and proactive management. Regularly check your UPI apps for active autopay mandates, even for services you believe you've cancelled. Consider using only one app for autopay to better track subscriptions. Maybe even maintain 2 bank accounts, one for serious investments and savings and another one for expenses. Bidari says one should never use their primary bank account for digital payments. Perhaps most importantly, pay attention to SMS notifications from your bank, which is supposed to send you alerts for upcoming deductions. Companies also claim to send such SMS notifications 24 hours before the transaction. Chaudhary says, and I quote, users receive alerts 1 day before payment deduction as per NPCI guidelines, and the UPI autopay mandate screen clearly indicates it is for a recurring transaction. He also said, for complete transparency, they send reminders before subscription expiry and clearly display subscription start and end dates in the app. But none of that, of course, really helps with actually cancelling subscriptions on many apps right now. That remains, if you believe one Reddit review, like finding an exit in a maze where they keep moving the walls. Have you come across any dark patterns too? Write to kaching@theken.com and let Pranati know, or leave a comment on our website or on our app. That is all for today, dear listener. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you again tomorrow.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of The Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted by Snigdha Sharma and edited by Rajiv CN.